Look at you. You're so pretty.
Oh, thank you.
We come back to you now live as the police chase has taken an unexpected turn. An alien the size of a paperclip has just landed in the middle of the police chase. More on that at 6 p.m.
Tune in.
I didn't even have the microphone up to my mouth. I love this.
Yep.
All right. Hey, what's up, everybody? And welcome back to another episode of Morning Coffee with Shawn and Shelly. We're going to start calling it Shawn and Shelly. I just decided that.
Oh.
Because the alliteration, it sounds good.
I know. It just, you know, my abuelita's name is Shelly. So sometimes
and she is the sweetest woman that cooks so well. And
I adore her.
So you take on after her so well.
Thank you.
So you're worthy of the name.
Thank you.
So
that's really sweet.
welcome back to a long-awaited episode of Shawn and Michelle, Shawn and Shelly, work in progress. It's been a few weeks, maybe even a couple of months, honestly, since we've made our last episode.
It's been a while.
Yeah, and it wasn't that we intended to stop. We just kind of did. I
think we just kind of got sidetracked and a little busy.
Yeah, maybe a bit burnt out too.
Yeah, I think so. I think we just needed a pause, reset.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not that hard to make the episodes, but I think because of how often we were doing it and stuff, maybe. I mean, to be honest with you, we don't have a game plan yet. We just knew it's been a while. Let's just make another episode. We don't know if we're going to do this weekly. We don't know if we're going to do it bi-weekly. We don't know if we're going to record like 6 episodes in a week and then, drop one a week. We don't have a plan yet.
We're just going with the flow.
But we're just going based on vibes right now. So, we just thought it's been a minute and we know that y'all enjoy these and we actually do too. We really do too. We missed it.
Yeah.
So we wanted to get back and start doing it again. If you notice, our background's a little different. There's, less stuff going on.
Yeah.
And maybe there needs to be a little something.
I think we need some more wall art. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But this just for lighting's sake, the window is like here on us, and which we know is really important to you guys that are just listening on Spotify. And I don't know, just better framing.
Yeah.
I don't know, just the cinematography. Again, Spotify listeners, we know you'll really appreciate this. But yeah,
just know that the views are great.
They really are, actually, because where we're sitting, we can look out from our 3rd-story apartment out onto the town square where we're sitting at like tree height, and we can see all the stuff going on down here in our nice, beautiful patio too.
And I can see my little herb garden that's growing.
Yeah, that's right. So we thought we would just treat this kind of like a catch-up, like as if you're sitting here at the table with us and we're just catching up and telling you a bit about our lives and what's going on at Heroics. And no script. We go in on vibes.
Just vibes.
So you just mentioned your herb garden.
Yeah.
Actually, that's been something you've been taking on in the last month and a half or 2 months or so.
Yeah.
How's that been going? I mean, I know how it's been going. But
honestly, I'm very pleasantly surprised. We've been married since 2016. And I've tried multiple times to keep some herbs alive outside. So, I think it was like maybe April this year that we were out grocery shopping. I popped in a Dollar Tree and they actually had a ton of seeds. It was like 3 packs of seeds for like 33 cents. I was like, oh my gosh, the game over. So I got like sage, oregano, thyme, chives, lavender. Not all of them took. But I am very happy because we have Italian basil out there. Shout out to Kelsey because she gifted me that.
Thanks, Kelsey.
I have some Thai basil. I have my sage from seeds that I bought. They are already like yay tall. Like I can see the sage leaves.
Yep.
I planted some marigolds and they are huge. You can see them from the actual square when you look up towards our patio.
You can see them from space.
I wouldn't go that far, but I'm really happy.
Almost.
It did bloom. So we have a pretty marigold flower out there. So I'm ready for Dia de los Muertos. I'm going to actually have my own flowers for my altar. So,
which if you're not aware,
Yes.
maybe I'm not the right person to really be explaining this because I'm not like, she's the one who taught me this, but marigolds are a part of the Day of the Dead tradition.
Yes.
And actually, why don't you explain that? Because that's about as much as I know. It's
actually a very sweet tradition. So, I think there's some misconceptions on what Dia de los Muertos is. It, falls on November 1st. And really more than anything, it's a celebration of life. It's, you're honoring your ancestors that have passed on before you. And the idea, traditionally speaking was, on that day, the veil between our world and the spirit world is thin. And the idea is that there are different guides, monarch butterflies, for instance, doggies as well. But also the marigolds are believed to almost be like guide markers.
Right. Isn't the idea they're so bright that they can be seen by the spirits or something like that?
It's the bright color and the fragrance, the flower smell. And so because they're native to Mexico, it's almost like bringing your ancestors back home for the night just so they can spend time with you and the family. So it's a really sweet tradition. So yeah, I'm very excited because I feel like, in years past, I'd either have like the silk flowers marigolds.
Yeah.
Or, there was one year that my cousin Sandy gifted me some fresh ones, but I was like, you know what? Like they had the seeds there and I was like, how cool. Like I'm going to actually plant these myself. And I'm so proud because like I said, I have tried so many times to grow outdoor plants and they are thriving.
They're doing really well. Like she said, they started from seeds. I mean, literally out of the packet. And now the plants are probably 2.5 feet tall or something, and they're starting to bloom. And that wasn't that long ago.
No,
they just shot up.
It was like April, and now we're in August, and they're like this tall.
Yeah, they really
from the seeds. So.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, it was probably end of April, and it's like what, August 2nd, 3rd, or something right now.
Yeah, no,
I don't know what day it is, but
it's been great.
It's like 2 months. They just shot up. It's crazy.
I've been having a lot of fun with it, so that's been one of the things I've been up to is little gardening.
Yeah, it's been really nice, especially for me, kind of thinking about that because I like to go out on the balcony all throughout the day. Something I've been trying to do more regularly is meditation. And those plants have actually been a really nice addition because I like to meditate on the balcony. I put my meditation cushion out there. And even though, there's the occasional car horn or lawn care services or something in the area, that's also, funny enough, part of the practice is learning how to focus in and learn how to tune out distractions. So that's, even though it doesn't sound as pleasant as like nice soft music, which I still play, that's part of the practice too. Mm-hmm. But the plants are really nice because when I sit down, I sit facing towards them. Yeah. And then behind the plants, because we have them hanging on a rail, kind of the railing or whatever of our balcony. Behind them is the, what do they call that? Simpson Plaza or something technically?
I think so.
It's some kind of a plaza with trees and stuff. So it's like behind it, it's just green. Yeah. And it's so great. I close my eyes during most of my meditations, but at least start, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like looking in and just being able to kind of zone in and zen in on that. It's just like, it's helped even more. I'm just like, I'm starting to feel like I'm in a green space, which there's a lot of studies that show that like greenery is very healing for people. Mm-hmm. Can't remember the traditional name for it, but they call it forest bathing in Japan. Some doctors will actually recommend this as a treatment for people that are dealing with like depression and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of studies that show that either being around greenery or being near water, or if you're lucky, both, can actually be a really positive thing for your mental health. Yeah. So, it's great for me to be able to sit out there and start to feel like I'm not just surrounded by concrete, but by greenery too.
Yeah.
So that's been really nice for me. It's helped. It's even helped in a way with my own meditation practice, which was totally like not intentional. It was just part of a nice little added bonus benefit.
100%. I mean, sometimes there was one time I woke up really early and I did yoga out there on the patio too. And I just, something about being on that patio, being outside in the fresh air. And actually I was kind of facing, because the sun was rising still. So it was, oh my gosh, it was so nice. And then, when I was done and I saw the little mini garden, I was like, oh, what a great day.
Right? Yeah.
So
it's been nice to see. And we've also had some friends come over. Shout out to some of our listeners that also come over sometimes.
Yes.
You know who you are.
Yes.
And, it's nice to be able to sit out there now, thanks to some neighbors that were very generous when they moved away out of this apartment. They were getting entirely new furniture sets at their new place. And they were like,
they didn't want to pack their current stuff.
They sold it on the cheapity cheap just to help recoup a little bit of the moving costs. And we got an entire patio set, And so now we can have friends over and sit outside and enjoy the weather when it's not like scorching hot, Yesterday was also, actually this week was kind of brutal with the allergies, dude. So when the allergies aren't getting to you and the sun isn't trying to kill you, which I have to admit is a hard combo to get here right now.
Yeah.
But when those things aren't trying to kill you, it's a really lovely experience.
It is. It really is. I mean, even if it's just for like a little bit, like in the middle of my work day, because, I still have a full-time corporate job, corporate girly. But,
she's a corporate girly.
But, when I'm working from home and I have a lunch break or even just like 10 minutes, I just need to reset. I just go out on that patio and I just sit right by my little plants and I'm like, hi, plants.
I do the same thing. Yeah, I do the same thing. Yeah, even when I'm not just meditating, I love to come out there just because, like, I'll start the day with like a workout and then walking the dogs. I actually usually flip that. And then, we walk the dogs together and then I'll run off to the gym, come back. And then, usually I'm more of a do the dishes in the morning kind of person, not at night. And so I'll take care of the dishes or some chores or whatever. But before I get into like anything I call productive, like I like to take my time in the day.
Yes.
And so that's how I kind of take a break and how I transition from like morning into like when I sit down at my computer. Because I know once I sit down at my computer and I start working on new posts for the Instagram or working on like coming up with new processes or new ad ideas or service or whatever ideas, like I'm going to be there all day. So I have to be intentional about like taking time to be outside and just breathe in and breathe out and just like really enjoy the moment and decompress, because otherwise I get cranky.
You actually bring up a really good point. Something that I was learning in my yoga teacher training. I know there's always been the subject of morning routines, right? Mm-hmm. Like people are like, oh, I wish I had a morning routine. I'm one of them because I find that the days that I actually do a morning routine, like Shawn said, it goes so much better. Like I'm in a better mood. I feel more focused. And, that was something I was learning is, I think there's, for one, and this could be a whole podcast in and of itself, there's a lot of misconceptions about yoga, but
what?
Yeah.
Wait, so you're telling me it's not about summoning demons?
Oh, we can talk about that in another podcast. I thought it is not. I will just say that right now.
What?
I did have somebody tell me that one time.
Well, that's lame.
I was like, it's okay. You don't know. You don't understand. And unfortunately, people fear what they don't understand.
This is true. I'm being cheeky.
Yeah.
But yes, some people genuinely think that like, yeah. And that's a whole other thing.
It's a whole other episode. But, I will just say to that person, I don't harbor any ill will, and I don't even think I interacted. I think I just kind of went on about my day because, that could be a whole thing. But what I was going to say is, I know in the US, right? Whether you've ever practiced yoga or not, most people know what yoga is to an extent, right? Like the poses, the flow. But, what I've really learned and I already kind of had an idea it was about this, but in my studies, I really learned it's really more of a lifestyle. Like yoga is a lifestyle. And so I think the simplified version of it that I can describe like real quick is it is a very deep personal self-care practice.
Yeah, that's a pretty good way to put it.
Inside and out is what I would describe yoga as. It's, it's really a transformative experience where you are really trying to get to the core of who you really are through yoga poses, right? To kind of help take out some of the distraction in your mind.
Yeah, but like the poses really are just kind of the tip of the iceberg.
Yes.
And that's something that was kind of new to me, because I'd hear people say stuff like, oh, I'm just trying to live my yoga. Or I think there's a book called Living Your Yoga or Living My Yoga or something like that.
I have that book.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
And I was like, huh?
Yeah, what does that mean?
I don't even know what that means. Yeah. But yeah, it really is. It's like living your philosophy, living your lifestyle. There's the poses are part of the thing, and what we just call yoga today is like a portion of the actual bigger yoga.
Yes. Yoga initially was intended to help yogis meditate. The idea is that, you would do these poses and focus on the breath and your movement for long enough that you essentially get tired and you're like, oh, okay, now I just want to sit. I just want to meditate. So that's really what the purpose was. But going back to morning routines,
right?
In my yoga studies, there was a really helpful resource that the guru provided, and he basically titled it like "The Life of a Yogi." And I thought it was great because, in a way, when I first read it, I was like, "Wow, that's a lot of steps in a morning routine." But I did it, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I feel like a new person. Like I feel like it was to the point. It was like wake up, brush your teeth, wash your face,
put on a little makeup. Why'd you put the ketchup on the table?
I do have a metal yoga flow, but
you go creating another fable. You wanted to. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
The coffee's starting to hit me.
It's okay. That's why we went off the script, because it's vibes. No, but I loved it because you know the usual, right? Brush your teeth, wash your face, but it was nice because in my studies in the resource, it was like, get some massage oil, massage your neck, right? Give yourself a little neck and shoulder massage, take a shower. If you have time, do some yoga, meditate, have a warm breakfast, like all these things that you've probably heard elsewhere. But in this context, when I finally put it into practice, it was like, wow, this is so nice. Like I'm taking care of myself. Like I'm starting my day off by taking care of myself. And I feel like when you do that, when you take that time, you make that time for yourself, right? Even if you're not a morning person. I am not a morning person, but I have become one because it's worth it, because you feel so refreshed. You feel alert and not stressed. I used to wake up super stressed, and now I'm like,
it makes a big difference. And just like you said, you can follow that routine. You can even follow a simplified routine. And any routine in and of itself is actually really helpful if done properly. Sometimes routines can be stifling, and sometimes you need to kind of break out of them because you're like, I'm feeling bored. I'm feeling this is too monotonous, or it's overbearing,
right?
Or something like that. But I think of it, it's funny because you think of it from the yogic perspective. I think like systems and automation.
That's awesome.
In a way,
they're both right.
Right. And it's like, it's like a way to automate your day. It's like, I know I'm going to do this. I know I'm going to do that. I know I'm going to do the other thing. I don't have to think about it anymore. Like, and it helps you save time because you're not deliberating. You just go into it. It saves you mental energy because you already know what you're going to do. So it's less thinking, less taxing on your brain. And when you create a system that works for you, it like builds up your energy. It builds up your motivation. It builds up all this stuff so that you're setting yourself up, like she said, for success.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I mean, like in some ways I've had routines throughout my life. Sometimes I haven't, I mean, anybody that has to get up and get ready for work has a routine of some degree, but I guess though this wasn't exactly the point, we're in this territory now, like, I guess a question you could ask yourself is how well is your morning routine working for you? Is it leaving you feeling lethargic and tired throughout the day because maybe there's not enough movement or activity going on? Or are you getting right into your workday and does that motivate you? Or does that
So that
leave you
kind of starts you
feeling,
in a stress
yeah, in a stressed position?
response.
Because usually when we wake up in the morning, the way that actually happens is our body gives us a spike of cortisol to wake us up, which is the stress hormone.
Mhm.
Because it's like, you need to wake up now.
Yeah.
You need to go to the bathroom. You need to find food, shelter. Like we're still cavemen that live in a modern world, you know? And so like that cortisol, when you already start up here and then you get into work, for some people that's exactly what they need, but for other people that just sets them on a bad trajectory. And it's like, do not talk to me. I don't want to talk to nobody.
Yeah.
Why am I here today? I don't want to be here today. I hate this job. I hate these people. You got to be careful, right? So I guess that's my question I'd ask you is, how could you improve your routine to help you have a happier, healthier, and more heroic, day overall?
Yeah, and I think you bring up a good point too. I think that's the thing. You have to be realistic, right? With like your lifestyle. If you have to commute, maybe your morning routine has to be a much more simplified version. But I think learning too that self-care is in the little things too. Maybe it's just remembering to put your chapstick on. Maybe that's just, that's a form of self-care because it's like, oh, I don't want to have chapped lips today. It can be something small. It doesn't have to be a long drawn out routine. But if you have the time and you want to treat yourself, I highly encourage it. I highly encourage, like on a Saturday or Sunday, if you don't have anything going on,
take the extra time.
Take the extra time. Do yourself the favor. Just ease into your day, and oh my gosh, you're going to feel so refreshed. But I know we got on this topic and it wasn't planned.
We go where we go. We go by vibes.
We go by vibes. But I just think I liked when you said, I come from the yogic perspective and your, system and automation, and they both work and they both have, their benefits. And so I don't know.
Yeah.
I just like that. I just like that you said that.
Yin and yang, right?
Yin and yang.
Yeah. I mean, because yoga, lifestyle, in a way, speaking even on lifestyle, even though we're still kind of defining it ourselves, like our brand is even sort of a bit of a lifestyle brand. We kind of preach a certain sort of lifestyle, one of balance, one of self-care, one of, healthy discipline, one of a lot of different things, right? So that people enjoy the most self-care and heal from past events, from grief, from trauma, from childhood experiences, etc., to growth, because often those do go hand in hand, right? Sometimes our growth gets stunted whenever we're in difficult situations.
Or it can be a great opportunity to build that resilience.
Exactly. Which is a huge thing that I focus on it, and even yoga does too, like, in sort of a indirect way and so on. Like we're helping.
What is it? Bottom up?
Yes. The bottom up approach, by giving you the physical
grounding
capacity and grounding for it, while the coaching tends to help with the mindset shifts and the beliefs that help you increase your resilience so that you can handle the challenging stuff. So, it's really cool how you can approach this from so many different angles, right?
Oh, for sure. And I think I love that so much about us.
Yes.
Is that, we have our passions, we have our interests, and it's great how we can complement the heroic brand because, as Shawn said, he is, studied psychology, has that psychology background from UNT. So he can really speak to the mind and psychology and the science behind it. And, I have been practicing yoga for over 10 years now. Finally got my 100 hours
I was just about to say, you just got your certifications. That's pretty big too.
I did. So, I'm very excited, but I have found so much healing, so much growth, so much resilience, so much confidence from yoga. And I know that might sound very far-fetched or unusual to somebody who's never practiced yoga, or maybe you've practiced one or two, and that's okay. I think, that's the beautiful thing about yoga, is that yoga really is for everybody, and everybody's practice is going to look different. Mine personally, I had a very unhealthy childhood and very chaotic environments. yoga was the one time that I had to myself where I could just be by myself and be grounded and centered. And so it really helped me, stay present. And honestly, I know it sounds dramatic, but yoga did kind of save my life.
Yeah.
So, I think that's the great thing is that, I have gained so much from it. And even from like the first time I practiced yoga at like 15, I was like, oh my gosh, like I feel peace that I've never felt anywhere else. And I was like, if I can bring this to other people, if I can show people what this feels like, somebody who might never have experienced what I did, or maybe they have, and to actually feel comfortable in their body. I'm like, man, I want to be able to teach that to people. Like I want to be able to spread that to people. And even if it's not that, even if, maybe you just want a really cool workout that also is kind of like that can be high impact but low stress in a way because of the fact that it's meditative at the same time. Like I got you, girl, or guy, or pal, But I think I'm sorry. I want to be inclusive. You can cut that out if you want. I just love everybody, and I want everybody to feel safe.
Yes, as you can tell, we're all very passionate around here.
Yes.
And that's what inspires us.
Yes.
And that's why we do what we do.
Yes. I think that's the thing is like, as somebody who personally was outcast in my family even, and just like almost anywhere, the last thing on earth that I want to do is make anybody feel unwelcome or, like they can't join.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what we do here is we help everybody feel open and welcome.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, let's see. What else has been new on the plate lately? I can't remember. What else has been going on in life? Not even just heroics. Well, you are kind of like going for a potential promotion.
We will see. So I still have my corporate job. I do want to grow the yoga side of things, but for now we got to pay rent.
Unfortunately,
but it's interesting because even though I'm very passionate about yoga, I currently work in the trucking industry, which I know sounds very what.
I mean, who hasn't seen a truck driver just pull over and pull out a vinyasa flow?
I kind of joked even this last week that, and even without coming out and saying that I mean, there's like maybe a few people at work that know that I do yoga on the side, but like, I literally send people memes like the Patrick meditating meme. I'm like, we got to be the Zen and freight, y'all. Like, because It is a very stressful environment. You might not think it is, but trucking is very stressful. So anyways,
I don't actually know anybody that doesn't think that. I think everybody knows it's a.
Oh, I don't. I mean,
well, I don't know about everybody, but I think a lot of people know it's not an easy industry.
I mean, maybe I just it's funny because this is a really side tangent, but my dad actually at one point was a truck driver back in when he was like 20 or 30. So I've heard stories of what it is to be a truck driver for sure. He doesn't do that anymore, but he still has his CDL. But, it's funny because growing up, I never saw myself going there. It's just, man, life has a way, right? And so through networking, I went from one job to another, wound up at a flooring company. I did their shipping and I had never done shipping. And so literally had to teach myself. It was quite the experience. But through that,
that's another episode.
It's another episode. But I wound up at the current job that I'm at now. And don't mean to toot my own horn, but I am crushing it. It's funny because even though I'm very passionate about yoga, I'm very passionate about how medicine in the East and West can come together. And I feel like, there's stuff that we can, gather from both sides. And, this might just be my attention span just going everywhere. But I took those ACT tests and what have you, and they found that my interests were split evenly between the arts and science. And so the thing is I, as creative as I can be, I'm also very logical, which works great in the freight logistics world. So
in the logistics world, logic.
Yes.
Whoa.
So I'm pretty good at that. So yes, I am trying to currently apply for a manager position. We will see. They will obviously pick the best candidate, but I have gotten a lot. I've gotten a lot of good feedback, so we will see. But
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the thing is, I really have, even in that, just trying to live day by day, but not in a way of surviving, but I really am trying my best to just thrive and just make the most out of every day. So if it works out, awesome. And if it doesn't, that's great. The person who will get the job will be great at it too, I'm sure. So, that's kind of what I've been up to.
Yeah. And you mentioned something, actually. You talked about medicine. And I've kind of wondered if I for like almost several months, I've thought about, should I talk about it or not?
Mm.
And I'm going to just share that for about the last year, I've actually been taking a Lexapro prescription.
Mm-hmm.
And I was curious, for several months, if I should talk about that or not, because, it's like a personal kind of a thing, right? Nobody
It is.
needs to share that if they don't want to.
Sure.
But being that I am a life coach and somebody who's in like the holistic life coaching world, like holistic as in whole person,
right?
That often gets kind of lumped into this sort of anti-medicine worldview.
Yes.
And that's like where the rub has kind of been for me.
Yeah.
So I thought I would share some updates with me and also kind of you as well, I guess. But about a year ago, when I was working at my full-time job, it was in a major layoff heavy season. Mm-hmm. I had a family member that unfortunately lost their life due to their personal struggles. And I was just kind of getting hit by just so many heavy things in life. I had done a lot of healing work. I had done a lot of growth, but that particular season was just heavier than I was prepared for, even with the growth and the healing that I had done.
Yeah. I mean, it really felt like back to back.
It was hard. Yeah. So I was in kind of a rock bottom place around a year and a half ago, or about like March or April last year. And so at that point, for the first time really in my life, I took it for like a week when I was a teenager. But I started like truly like taking an antidepressant for the first time.
Right.
And I wanted to share that truthfully, it's been a helpful addition to my life.
Yeah.
I'm not an anti-medicine person, but I'm also not a just throw medicine at it to solve the problem kind of person either. I think medicine is important and a helpful tool when it's needed, and when other interventions are not as effective, or for some reason time is of the essence and you just need to flip the chemical switches, so to say. So thankfully, through that 10 milligrams that I was taking of Lexapro, I was able to kind of like kind of stabilize and come back up and breathe for the first time in a long time. And I was in a in a really good state, mentally, and still am. I had some side effects. I believe it led to some weight gain. And the Lexapro kind of like not only just like helps you with like, limiting the bad, but also kind of limits the good too. So when I was first on the full dose, I felt a little bit narrow emotionally and personality wise, but it was kind of like something that I had to like kind of take as like a necessary like side effect, but thankfully, through that, it kind of helped me get up and breathe enough air to continue my healing and my growth journey, and to continue setting up like a healthy environment for myself, healthy routines, healthy systems, and continuing to learn and grow and do the actual work in my brain and in my body to help increase my resilience. And I've been able to reduce down from 10 to 7.5. And very soon, more than likely, I'll be reducing down to 5 milligrams. And then, once I hit 5, then we'll see about going to 2.5, which would just be a quarter of the pill, and then potentially completely stopping use of it altogether. Or, I'm also open to, if life has other plans for me, then I stay where I'm at, or maybe I have to bump back up. But I call it the minimum effective dose method. That's kind of standard, it's not like I made that up, but I know that at a certain point, the 10 milligrams actually became too much for me. the side effects were kind of affecting me more than the negative aspects. And it wasn't just because, because you're taking the medicine, that's why you're not having the negative side effects or whatever. Right. So I knew it was time to dose down, and I've been on 7.5 milligrams now for like 4 months or something like that. Yeah. And I've been doing great, actually. And so I'm thinking I'm about ready to switch to half my pill and stuff like that. But I know, Michelle, you have probably some experiences on that too to share. Yeah. But here, just to clarify, yoga, life coaching, holistic, you might get a certain impression of us that like, we don't believe in medicine, man. Like, that's like the man invented that. I don't know if people actually still talk about like that, but
no, I mean, there is a connotation when somebody is like, oh, you're a yoga instructor, you're probably really hippy dippy. And I am a little hippy dippy, but
we are a little bit, but we also understand the value of modern science.
Yes. And I don't mean to knock anyone. I don't. I think that's, I want to be very cognizant of that. I don't mean it to like slander anybody, but I think it's just the fact that
you're not slandering anyone.
Well, I don't want to be too opinionated, but my point is,
we have opinions. It's okay.
We do.
We have opinions.
I think that's the thing is I think we just want to make it very clear that we understand the value and the benefits that Western, medicine provides. There are benefits to Eastern medicine as well. And so,
they work very well together.
Yes. And honestly, a lot of Western medicine actually takes and draws from the Eastern medicine. I'm very passionate about that, but I think that's the thing. To Shawn's credit, it's that holistic has this connotation of what it is, and we just wanted to make clear that heroics is about taking the best of all resources, medicine, prescription medication, yoga, and CBT therapy, and cognitive behavioral therapy, and the mental health aspect is wider than just one avenue.
Yeah, that's I almost hesitate to even use the word holistic for myself. It's just it's if you read the textbook definition, that's what I am. Yes. I look at the whole person, the mind, the body, spiritually, the soul, so to say. But really, it's an integrative approach because we pull, as she said, from Eastern philosophy, from Western philosophy, from Eastern medicine, from Western medicine. We're not doctors, but we pull from information from several different sources, from several different studies, because we believe that if you just stick to just one, you are getting a lot of information there, a lot of valuable stuff, but you're missing out on
limiting yourself,
everything else, that could help make your life better. Yeah. So, I mean, just sharing that, I don't think no one's ever asked, but just thought we'd share. If you need medication, that's okay. Yeah. If you need it for a short-term period of time, or if you need it for the rest of your life, that's okay. We believe in using the minimum amount that is effective according to your doctors. Yeah. Right. And then creating the supportive lifestyle, environment, diet, exercise, nutrients, supplements, behaviors, mindsets that support everything. Because a lot of that non-medicinal approach can help prevent, certain things, or it can help keep certain things at bay or help with recovery. So they really do go well hand in hand. No one's ever said that we are or not, but I just thought I'd throw it out there because it's been kind of like on my mind. Yeah. And it's something I've kind of kept to myself too. Like I haven't really shared with many people that like I've been taking Lexapro for a year. Yeah. And several years ago, actually, I did have a bit of a negative opinion about medicine. I thought people that take medicine are just, copping out and they need to do the hard work, but it got to a point where I was doing the hard work and it was still really hard. So if you need it, it's okay. Yes. It is totally okay. Yes. If you don't, that's also okay. Yes. That is also okay. You don't need to have it. You don't, you know what I mean? Just take it on a case-by-case basis. Listen to your doctors as always. And, if you're doing all the hard and supportive work, if you're eating right, if you're exercising, getting good sleep, getting water, getting sunlight, good mental thoughts, good beliefs, so all these other things, good community, good support network, you're still struggling, or you're in a place right now where it's just too hard, don't, if you happen to be one of those people that's a little anti-medicine, I'm just going to challenge you a little bit to be considerate and open to the idea.
Yes.
It could very well be beneficial, even if just, I almost felt it is as if it was almost like a life vest that, you pull and it inflates. It was like I was underwater for a bit. I pulled it and it kind of brought me back up to the surface,
Yeah.
even if that's all it is for you, just to get you back up, get your head above water again, and then you wean off of it. And I would recommend slowly, probably even slower than is usually recommended. Then no shame in it. Take care of yourself.
And I think that's the thing too, is listening to your needs, listening to your body, right? Just as Shawn has mentioned, I also have experience with medication for mental health. I actually currently still am on some. I think that's the thing, is I too, like Shawn, at one point didn't think I needed it, didn't think that, I had a lot of growing to do in my mental health journey. My childhood trauma was actually starting to spill into our relationship, and my stress, my ability to manage stress. It was to a point where I finally realized, okay, you know what? We were in communities too that kind of made it seem as though you shouldn't take medicine, you shouldn't go see a psychologist. And so that was confusing. and then it finally got to a point where I realized, you know what? I need help, and I can't figure this out. I've been going 20 some odd years, just freewheeling, and it's not working. And I want to make changes, but I don't know where to go. And so found a great therapist. She's excellent. And through that, she gently suggested, why don't we try medication? You don't need to be on it forever, but maybe that can help dial the volume down a little bit. Because what happened was I was in such a hyper vigilant state that I was always, my amygdala, my animal brain, as I call it, was always on. So
that's a really good point. And that can make it, probably what you're getting at, very hard to actually do the work.
Yes, because I was so on edge waiting for, something that wasn't really going to happen, but because of the trauma response that I had built up, I was always on alert. I was always anxious. I've mentioned in another podcast of ours, but, I had struggled with OCD, actually got diagnosed with it, anxiety, PTSD, and depression. So I had all of that going on, and I didn't know. So all this time I had been going on about my life, and I'm like, oh, things are making sense now.
That's starting to click.
It's starting to click. Yeah. That's why I'm struggling with this. That's why I'm taking forever to leave the house, because I'm checking the door 20,000 times and recording it, And I was like, I don't want to live like this. I don't want to live in constant fear of something going wrong. And so, I was prescribed a medication. It didn't work for me at first. I was getting, the electric impulses in my brain. It was a bad mix for me personally. It didn't go well with me. So then I got off of it. I was like, I don't want this. Some time passed. And then I said, you know what, maybe I just need a different one. And so they got me on different ones. And, it's been a journey, because, it took some time. It took some time to find the right stuff to help me. But when it did, it got to a point where those OCD tendencies, those, because I think, again, people have misconceptions of OCD, and that can be another podcast. I won't go into the details, but being in a place in your life where you can finally be like, nope, I know that's right. I know that's done. I know I don't have to second guess it. Oh my gosh, the amount of mental energy I got back just because I was willing to do something that I was a little nervous about, getting on the medication. But, it was a tool. It was a tool because all the other things weren't working for me. I mean, yoga was a huge part of it. I would have been a worse mess if I hadn't had found yoga, but it couldn't do everything for me with where I was. And I think that's the thing too, is, in the sake of being transparent, and like Shawn said, the holistic part is you need a little bit of everything. And I think that, if you're in a place where, you're willing to say, you know what, I need to make some changes and I'm willing to try anything with an open mind, I think that's where the growth happens, because you're really putting yourself in a place where you're like, I want to set myself up for success, and I'm going to be open-minded about something that maybe I'm a little nervous about, but it might help.
Yeah. So tell us where you're at today.
Yeah. So, like I said, I had been on it, the medication for about a year or so. And then I finally got to a point, I'd say in the last month, that I was like, I know that I'm not in the place I was a year ago. I'm doing much better. I'm doing much better with stress. Our relationship is the best it's ever been, it's great too, because a lot of people that are close to me will say, yeah, like you're a different person, and like the best way, like you're the best version of yourself. And I feel that. And so, I actually, again, I don't want to influence anybody, but for me personally, I recognized, okay, I think I'm actually taking more than I need now. Like I think I'm taking more doses than I really need.
Right. Yeah.
And
your condition had improved.
Yes, my condition had improved.
And it wasn't just because you were taking the medication.
Yes.
It helped, but it was getting to a point where it was becoming a bit of a double-edged sword.
Yes, and I think that's the thing, is because the medication helped me get to a place where I could do that hard work.
Mm-hmm.
I could do the deeper stuff. I could read the books that I needed to move through things.
As we talk about, like, the work,
yes. Yes.
The coaching, the therapy,
the yoga,
the diet, the exercise,
yes.
the things that also are very scientifically proven to support your mental health in a very powerful way.
Yes. So I actually by accident missed a dose on something, and I was like, oh, I feel fine, and I feel more myself again. So I think that's the thing, is I think it's very important at any stage, at any place in your life, listen to yourself, listen to your needs, listen to your body. And once you start to become more in tune with your body, you can kind of make those decisions, obviously through the guidance of your doctor. Listen to anything, right? But I think for me personally, I have started to dose down from, my prescriptions, and also getting off of some altogether. And it's great, because they really were a lifeline for me when I really needed it the most. And I'm really happy, because I feel like, okay, these were tools in my journey, and they've done their purpose for me. And I'm starting to move on to other tools. And so I think that's the thing, is, wherever you're at, just listen to what you need.
Absolutely. Yeah. Something that, some counselors, therapists, psychologists, psychiatrists, etc., might say too. For some people, these medications are kind of like training wheels. They give you, or like the pads, they give you a little bit of a bumper, a little bit of a buffer, so to say, so you can build up those internalized new mindsets, the new behaviors, the new routines, the new environments. For some people, it might mean entirely new jobs, entirely new relationships, something like that. Mm-hmm. And I've worked with coaching clients to do just that. Yeah. That's another thing. That's another episode. But it can give you the padding to make the changes, so that now, like as a kid that didn't know how to ride a bicycle and needed all the pads and the parent just behind him and guiding them with the training wheels, and it's just like that. You can begin to get to the point where you do ride your bicycle, and all you need, really, everyone should be wearing a helmet. But you can ride your two-wheel bicycle without the training wheels, and without, like a sumo suit on to protect yourself, like you're good, Yeah. So, but it takes time. It's skill. There's skill involved. And I think that's the unusual thing that I don't think a lot of people know or talk about. But in a way, mental health is sort of a skill. Self-care is a bit of a skill. There's a lot that we didn't learn growing up about, healthy diet, exercise, mindset,
how to express emotions.
Exactly. Emotional regulation and so on. Yeah. None of this was taught to us.
We had to learn it. We had to learn it through great resources.
And a lot of trial and error.
Yes. And a lot of hard work.
But, there's skill. Yes. And when you have the skills to scaffold, using more psychology lingo, but that'll help you get to that place to where you are now in a spot where you can support yourself. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, cool stuff. I didn't You
No.
mentioned medication, and I was like,
Yeah.
I've thought about making a post about this back when I
Yeah.
started dosing down, like in March or something last
Right.
year. It was about a year after I started Lexapro, and I hadn't, but I was like, you know what? Why not right now? So
Yeah, no, and
we're excited to be on the new stage of our journey where we're like growing and where we can not have a black or white vision of medication. It's not like, oh, just take it and everything's fine forever. There's still work you got to do. And then also, oh, it's bad, you should never take it. It's like, it's helpful. It's useful.
It is.
But keep in mind, what is the most effective dose. Try not to go below or above it. And as you continue to improve your situation, your skills, and so on, you can begin to, through careful guidance, guide it down.
Yeah.
So yeah, just cool. So there's just something that was on my mind.
Yeah, no, I think it's great because like I said, I think, there's so much. That's the wonderful thing about us as humans is that, there really is so much to learn. Mind-body connection is real.
Yeah.
And, East and West, they're both great. And there's great things we can learn from both. So, I think what I want to say is just if you are in a place where you're also struggling or you're confused, maybe you were like me, you were hearing mixed messaging from some people, saying don't do it, or some saying, heck yeah. And you're like, I don't know which one. Or, if you just feel alone and just kind of lost, reach out. Like we really genuinely care. Like that's the whole purpose of Heroics is that we've been through it. We've been through some tough stuff. We've been, going through life. We've learned a lot of things the hard way and also, not, we've been doing a lot of research, but, we're here.
Sometimes we learn things the easy way.
Sometimes. But I think that's the thing is that ultimately our goal is to help others with either similar things or to just help people, even if they haven't gone through the same things. We just want to help people. So, if you're listening, if you're watching, reach out. Don't be afraid. We're here for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, we're at 50 something minutes. We try to keep these give or take about an hour. Yeah. So we got time, I think, for a little more. Though I have to admit, I don't know what to talk about at the moment. All I know is it's been nice to kind of get back into the rhythm again.
Yeah, it's been really nice. It's I know that we have some dedicated listeners and it just warms my heart that, you guys listen and you guys want to hear what we have to say, and I think it is nice, it's nice to share, what we've gone through, but what we're doing ahead, right? Like, I think that's the thing is it's sometimes so easy to stay stuck in the past. I was one of those people. And so, but man, it's so nice when you finally get to a place where you start looking ahead. And so that's what we want to do here at Heroics is really ultimately we want to help people move forward.
And speaking of ahead, actually, you mentioned something. We've talked a lot about catching up, but why not spend a little time talking about what we have going on down the road?
Yeah, why not?
So what do you have briefly coming up in the pipeline in life, in Heroics Yoga?
Yeah.
Tell us what maybe the next couple of months might be looking like for Michelle and a few minutes, so to say, to keep to our time budget.
So we have another free monthly yoga flow in the park. So I'll be making another post soon. It's August 30th at 10 a.m. here in Frisco Square. We've held 2 of them and people love it because we're right by the fountain. It's nice outside. We're in the shade. So you get that nature. You get to just
It's really peaceful.
Yeah. So have that coming up. I am working on, coming up with maybe like a yoga series, maybe something for our drop-in courses online. So if you want to practice yoga at home and join us, just drop in rate of $16. That's, if you know what yoga prices are, that's pretty affordable considering.
That's practically a cup of coffee these days.
So yeah, that's kind of more or less what I've got going on for Heroics Yoga at the moment.
Very cool.
Yeah. And what about you?
Oh,
that was my segue.
That was good. And I was like, I don't know why for a second I was like, do I wait till I was like, I don't know what to do right now.
That was me trying to pass the mic.
I love it. Okay. can't even focus right now.
This is why people love us, because we're authentic.
We're goofballs. We're goofballs. We're hardcore goofballs.
No, that
I don't know.
a piece of rock and roll. That's my life.
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
R.I.P. Ozzy. I'm still grieving.
We are grieving. Still crying.
That's something else. Something else we've been doing is watching a lot of the Osbournes lately. On a side note, if you know me, you know I'm a musician. If you don't, now you know. And I've been since like 13 years old.
Yes.
And of course, like many guitarists, Black Sabbath was one of the first bands I learned any riffs from. Ozzy was one of my favorite singers. So, always had like a kindred connection to him too. Just, I don't know, his vibes very much connect with him. So I've been hit kind of harder than I expected, you know, like I've seen many celebrities come and go, and some I really like, and it hits in that moment, It's been like a week and a half, and we're still
in mourning.
I'm still not over it, you know?
Are. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, Prince of Darkness, but really more, he was a light.
Yes,
seriously.
He was such a sweetheart.
But yeah, back to your original question of what's going
on with Heroics Coaching.
Yeah. So thankfully, recently we picked up a handful of new clients, which has been really exciting. Pretty much practically doubled my client count.
Yeah.
And where I got in 4 months, I got about that same amount in the last month and a half or so.
Yeah.
Coming down the pipeline, I'm going to be probably putting out one of my first like legitimate ads. Put a little cash, not a lot.
A razzle dazzle.
Yeah, a little razzle dazzle. So try to get that out there. Try to reach out to some more people. Continuing to refine the services. It's all the clients enjoy what I'm doing, but I'm always trying to level up my game a little bit. So. That's been kind of on my mind too, is how can I continue to further improve? I'm very much a continuous improvement kind of a person.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not as exciting, but I'll probably be getting Calendly soon for some automated text reminders for sessions. So
we love efficiency.
Right. Yay. It's the name of the game. And I have been considering as well some more like PDF guides, maybe a booklet down the road. And potentially, I still need to do some kind of homework on this, but I might do either live one-time workshops in the future, or maybe some series of live coaching around a specific subject, or possibly like a one-time purchase digital course, on certain kinds of topics as well. So,
nice.
That's kind of some other stuff I'm considering. I haven't really fully figured that out. Coming down the pipeline too, I guess just as exciting, I get the chance to walk a great little cabbie in the neighborhood. One of our dog's favorite little pals. I guess I'm excited to walk this little Abby. She's a little ruby colored Cavalier. Love her to death.
Puppy party.
Right?
I'm so excited.
Yeah. So that should be kind of fun. And also kind of like TBD on the start date, but I'm excited to start working about 10 hours a week with an HR consulting company.
That's right.
An old colleague of mine has her own fractional HR company. And when everything gets all figured out with the client side of things, I'll be basically making in 10 hours what I used to make in 20 at my old job, which is really exciting. Yeah. So that's going to really help with the cash flow, which has been actually on the way up. Truth be told, like because the business is growing here, we were having to dip into savings. Then we were like breaking even. Now we're in the green. We accidentally went out to eat a little too much last week. So we're kind of at the breaking even point right now. But normally we're in the green. So, we're adjusting our budget.
There's a fly.
Oh, not a fly.
They love us. No, don't do that. He's going to go in your mouth.
Ozzy had bats and me and flies.
Yeah, God.
Apparently. Remember that book? The old lady that swallowed a fly?
No.
That was a weird book.
There's a lot of things that are, I guess, standard for most people's childhoods that I didn't experience. So.
Well, that's what I got going on over here. Is lots of business development, lots of growth, and I have been losing weight, building muscle. I can even actually see it just in this video, which is really nice to see. So continuing on the physical health, just expanding the services, improving them, trying to find ways to reach people that can afford coaching, as well as those that where that's a little bit out of their budget, but what can I still offer people that want that. And so as you have the free yoga events and the $15 drop-ins, I'm going to be on this ad starting to do discounted first sessions. Right now my rate is $75 for coaching fees, but the first session I'll do it for $50, and you'll walk away with a comprehensive action plan for your life, your relationships, your career. It'll be kind of a nice little one-pager download, like here's our marching orders for life, here's where we're going. And then if you want to continue on, then we can continue on. But I want to give people a little bit of a way in, see what we can do, and help show how we can guide you there, as I've helped all these clients from getting new jobs to ending toxic relationships to losing weight to increasing their resilience to post-traumatic growth. The list goes on and on. Budgeting, time management, guiding all these people through these processes. How can I help you get where you want to go? So I'm happy to help. And as Michelle said, even if you're like, I don't got the money, but I just need somebody, feel free to reach out.
Yeah,
I'll be honest, we're not crisis trained.
No.
So keep that in mind.
Right.
But, if you need somebody, we don't want to turn anybody away. So
don't be a stranger.
Feel free to reach out. I've even got a handful of free PDFs and stuff on a few subjects that if you need a little bit of something, a little bit of knowledge on, we can send it to you. Yeah. So, we're happy to help out however we can, even if right now money is just tight, and we get it. It's kind of tight for everybody. Yeah. So that's why we're trying to do these high quality services at a affordable rate that you can actually afford.
Yes. Yes. No. And actually, hearing you mention some of those, action plan items, you reminded me of some of the things I wanted to do with the yoga. I wanted to come up with series, because I know that everybody has different goals when they think of yoga. So some people may want a really high impact, like we want to work out. Like I know Pilates is on the rise. I don't know Pilates, but I can teach you a pretty powerful yoga flow if you want to get the heart rate going. And also tone. But if you also are like, no, you know what? Like I have really bad panic attacks. Like I just panic and I don't know what to do. I want to create like grounding flows. Like maybe I do a series of like reconnecting with your body and
like trauma-informed yoga, right?
Trauma-informed yoga. I'm not trauma-informed yoga certified, but I have done enough trauma yoga myself when I'm going through stuff that I feel confident to be able to at least help in some capacity. So that is something I want to come up with, down the pipeline. Something too, a lot of times when you're in a yoga class, if you've never been and people are throwing out pose names and you're like, I don't know what that is. And then you're like kind of like in your pose awkwardly and you're like, what do I do? I want to do a yoga pose of the week or the month where I basically show you, here's the name, here's the pose, here's how you get into it. Because I want to show people too proper alignment, when I learned yoga in person, the instructor did a lot of hands-on, aligning, right? Positioning me with, actually touch. I know that, today we don't really do that, right? Consent. And so I think that's the thing is, being able to verbally cue and show you maybe while you're just scrolling on your phone, here's how you do a downward facing dog so that, you can go confidently into your yoga class and know your poses. So that's something I'm excited for and stuff like that.
Yeah, it sounds like we've got a third person here. I don't know.
Our little baby boy is getting antsy.
Will he get in the frame? I don't even know.
Yeah, he's probably in the frame. Hey, baby.
Did you want to say something? You were growling a moment ago.
When I say woof.
Woof? Want to bark? Bark?
Don't let him eat it though. Oh no, baby!
Oh no!
Oh, see, there's always something.
Yeah.
He's fine. He's fine. Here, I'll show you guys. He's okay. He's okay. Look, baby. Please, lovely.
And that's
our podcast.
That's our. Oh wait, hold up.
Oh,
we got a munchkin. Come here, munchkin.
Oh. I love you.
And that's
all right.
Morning coffee with Shawn and Shelly.
And your pups.
Thanks for stopping in and listening to everything we talked about today. Yeah. And if you don't follow us already, then follow. Give us a like or whatever. If you found it helpful, share it. And if you're interested in yoga services, online based, or if you're in the Dallas area in person, or if you're interested in coaching, I do virtual coaching, so I can meet you from literally anywhere. Reach out. We're happy to help out. That's what we do. That's literally what we do, what we're trained in, what we're certified in,
What we're passionate
what
about.
we're passionate about, and what we have genuinely helped our clients achieve.
Yes.
So thanks so much, y'all. Hope you have a great day.
And a great week. Bye, y'all.
Rock and roll!